Hey guys, so my client here came in wanting to get a transformation style as well as a weave on top. She has alopecia, which is also very scarred, and then of course her hairline is diminishing from wig wearing. Want to see the finished result? Keep watching. Okay, so to start off, we went ahead and did a preliminary cut by cutting off some of the excess hair that she had on her head. Now, as I mentioned in the preview, guys, she does have scarred alopecia. So we went ahead and did a relaxer on her because we will be utilizing her hair, even though we are applying weave in the areas where she has the scarring alopecia. Now, the relaxer has already been done. So what I'm going through now and doing is creating the actual shape for the cut. Now, when you are doing cuts of this nature, it is better to take the approach of slow than fast. You don't want to cut too much, but you also want to make sure that you cut enough. So in her case, I like to kind of part out the hair. I'm gonna say in some cases, not her case, but some cases, I'll part the hair out just so I can see my guide and I can work slowly to make sure that I'm not overcutting or exposing an area that does not need to be exposed and more say masked than anything else. Now for her sides and her back, it actually wasn't as bad. That area or that thinning or balding area that you see up in the top there, that area is scarred. By scarring, I mean that there is no follicle in majority of that portion of the head. And if there is a follicle, it's very sporadic, very, very sparse. You can actually count the follicles. This type of alopecia typically is considered to be non-reversible. But I'm not going to breathe life to that because I've seen plenty of people who have actually used some of my own products and other products regrow their hair in areas that we actually thought was scarred and nothing would ever come back. But I don't like to give false hopes and I don't like to tell lies. So I do always advise my client that if I see that it's scarred, that typically means that hair is not going to come back in that area and they can revisit or visit a physician in regards to like hair implants, that kind of thing. In her case, outside of her alopecia in that area, she actually created an environment for traction alopecia because, of course, when you have a situation like this, you're going to want to cover it up and you start wearing wigs. Now, with the wigs, it also started to take out her hairline, which that is actually reversible. That is something that if you catch it in time, it can actually be reversed. But if you continue to allow it to go and go and go, eventually that hair that you thought you didn't need is going to stop growing. And then that area will also become scarred because guess what? You're doing a repetitive or negative behavior to the same area over and over and over again. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just basically creating her shape. I'm giving her the cut from now. And then we are going to go ahead and mold her and put her under the dryer and create the base for us to be able to do the quick weave on the top of her head. Now I'm using the Elite Silk Wrap Foam for her mold. This wrap foam can be used on natural or relaxed hair depending on what application or what type of style you're doing. For her, I am molding her down and creating the style ahead of time. Now for my stylist, if you are working with a client that has issues such as hers, you do want to make sure that your foundation is solid. When I say foundation is solid, you want to make sure that you carve out your hairline. You want to make sure that you lay the hair in the direction that you are going to be styling it. If not, you're going to work a lot harder than you need to. And if you understand molds, the worst thing to do is to disturb a good mold. So just try to mold everything the way you want it styled from now and try not to have to do that later on. This is actually a very important step. It is going to literally make your job easier or harder if done the right or wrong way. Now, the good thing about the Elite Silk Wrap Foam is it does lay the hair down in places that you wouldn't even imagine hair could lay down. In the area where she was the balding or the thinning, that area, basically all I did was just use my comb and move those hairs around. Now, when you're doing a quick weave, and I'm going to say this really, really, really clearly, when you are doing a quick weave to a client that has an issue such as hers, please ensure that you are protecting that area. This is not something that you want to neglect. This is not something that you want to act as though it doesn't matter, because even 3 strands, 2 strands, 100 strands, they all matter to that client, and you don't want to do more damage than they already came with. Okay, so what I do is I use the liquid cap, which is also like a silicone or whatever you want to call it, But I also use gel to create a base in the area, and then I go back over it with some end strips. This is a technique that I was taught by another stylist here in Orlando. Shout out to T Queasy. You know I always have to shout them out. T Queasy and Tina, hey, what's going on? But they taught me this technique in regards to the liquid cap, and I have since then used it and just loved it. So we base it with gel, then we use our end papers. These papers are used when you're doing like rod sets, but it also is a great way to protect the scalp because they're nice and thin. They don't bubble up and they lay really, really nicely, especially when you put the gel over them. So we're creating a actual base. I'm not just putting the liquid cap directly on the hair or on the scalp. You want to create a protective base first. So now that she is molded and that area has now been covered or protected, we're going to go ahead and put her under the dryer. She went under the dryer for about 45 minutes. So she'll be under there to thoroughly dry. Okay. You want the top to dry thoroughly. You do not want that gel to be wet. You need it to be dry. Okay. This is very important within this step. The end papers that you see me putting on her sides and her back are more just to keep the mold in its place and to protect that area. Sometimes when you use those large wrap strips, they disturb your mold. And then they give you like little scrunches here and there. So for clients of her nature, and I don't do this on every client, I like to use these end papers just to create another base for protection outside of the wrap strip while the client is under the dryer. And then I finished up with the wrap strip, of course, just to keep everything secure and in place. Now, once she goes under the dryer and the top area is dry, that is when we are going to be applying our liquid cap, which is what you see me applying here. This is the last level of protection. It's like a silicone base and it's water soluble, so it makes it very easy for the client to remove. And then the hair that I'm using is the Velvet Tara, which is a 4, 6, and 8 inch. A lot of people ask me that, so I wanted to show you guys that. And then once we get to this point, her hair is dry and the area that... So from here, this is where the meat and potatoes happens. I am using my Babyliss FX Gold clippers to kind of thin down some of the density in these areas. Guys, in all my videos, I say the same thing, but I can't say it enough. If you're not comfortable with your clippers, do not do this step. If you're not comfortable with your clippers, do not do this step. You can actually do this by using your shears if you need to, but I do believe in working smarter, not harder. So if you get comfortable with doing it this way, then by all means do so. And then I'm using my Babyliss Gold FX trimmers to trim her hairline, of course, and create my shape, I guess. I don't know what to call it. Hairline. Okay, good way. And then I also used it to do a little bit of clipper over finger to kind of clear the area and clean up the density. So now that we've gotten everything tapered down, we're going to start applying her weave. The hair that I'm using is a very nice and lightweight hair. It actually looks really, really natural. And that's the only reason why it's my go-to in regards to the hair that I like to use for my clients of this nature. Now, I didn't show you guys the entire installation, but that's something that we do in another time. You just want to make sure that you are laying your tracks in the direction that the hair is going to be styled. That's very, very important. And then, of course, you want to make sure that your closure is in the place where you want your client's bangs to fall and fall in the right way, whether it be on the sides or the back. Now, once you close off this area, you can go ahead and start with your cutting, start with your masking, or whatever the case may be. I always like to, I change the lengths of the hair as I use them. I don't put the same length on every client, because every client's style is going to be different. Every client's face shape is going to be different. And the length of hair that we have left out is going to be different. Now, once it's installed, I just go through and use a razor comb or a razor to kind of get that hair to blend. The reason why I don't use my shears in this area is because it can sometimes create those blunt lines. And for you to be able to create that illusion, you want everything to kind of melt together. You don't want any type of hard lines, except for where you want actual layers to show. So be very, very light-handed when you're using your razor, especially for clients who have situations like alopecia, or you're trying to create any type of illusion style, or you want this style to look really, really natural compared to their hair. And then afterwards, you can go back through with your shears and just clean it up wherever you see fit. So once you finish laying your tracks, I spray a little bit of Sebastian Shaper, and then I also sprayed a very small amount of our Goddess polish on her hair and on the extensions. And then you just use your flat iron and do some just nice big curls, or a big curl or a bump or whatever you want to call it at this phase. You don't want to do any type of tight curling because then it's going to separate the weave from her hair. You want it to melt together really, really nicely, and then you can kind of define your curls as the hair gets shorter and shorter and shorter. But from the top, you do not want to do too tight of a bump. It's going to stack the hair on her head, and then it's going to actually raise the tracks where you're able to tell the difference between the two, between her hair and the extension hair, especially because the extension hair is going to always be shinier than her hair and silkier than her hair, and that's with any client. Once you finish with the bumping process, then you're going to use what we call a wide tooth comb to go through and just kind of melt everything together, bring the style together, that kind of thing. Now, if you notice in the back here, it is a little bit more sparse, but that actually is fine. It works really, really well with the style because you won't really know the difference once we comb her hair down. And then all the way down in the nape of her neck, that's where we would use just a standard flat iron just to kind of smooth it out a little bit better. And then for her front, we did the same thing. So she actually has bangs. You guys will get to see those bangs shortly. If you guys can tell, my client did not want her face to be seen, but she still allowed me to film this video for you guys for informational purposes, so you guys can see that sometimes there is some type of possibility of a style where you don't have to always feel so self-confident, and you can still get your hair done just like everybody else and look extremely cute without being worried that someone is going to see your trouble area. So that was really the purpose of this style in this video, and I hope you guys really, really liked it. Please, 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 by the way, if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you are not following me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram at Elite Hair Care USA. And then, of course, my YouTube channel is exactly the same. If you like what you see, please thumbs up this video, comment in the comment section, and also give me some likes for my IG family that's watching. And then, of course, we're going to finish up the style. So what I did at the top, just so you guys know, is I sprayed a little bit of hairspray because I'm going to use my flat iron to kind of weigh that area down to melt it together even more. So now you guys see how it's coming together. It looks nice and flowy. It looks like she just kind of got like a little wrap style, but it's like more on the short side with her hair blending in on all sides, including the front. So you guys will get to see the front in just a moment. Now, of course, we got to wear a mask. So I have to work around the mask and try to make sure that her hairline is nice and crisp, which it came out really, really nicely. So that was the good part. But I'm going to leave you guys to see the finished style. Please don't forget, like I said, thumbs up, comment, like, tell me what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.